What's up, Addicts? I'm Michael,
And I'm Josh.
and today we're reviewing Venom.
Yay.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie.
It's nothing like all of the big companies say because, they always get bought out or, try to. But,
They're all liars.
yes. So,
In this case, anyway.
and that's why we're going to set it straight and we're going to tell you basically why we think that. It's popular opinion, but okay. We'll explain it anyway.
Hot takes only here, only hot takes.
Yeah, and we're not going to say too much about the premise because I think everybody knows that this is it's like an origin story of Venom, but what's great about it is it doesn't focus heavily on the origin part.
It doesn't pull a Spider-Man and spend 15 minutes on the origin part.
Yeah, you don't see 30 minutes of Uncle Ben sitting in an alleyway.
Responsibility.
So, which that's really great. There is some small references though that I like. For instance, at the beginning of the movie, you get to see a shot from space. Presumably not presumably, it is them bringing back the symbiotes. And I love because the whole scene where it's traveling in space. I'm like, oh, are they gonna do where it's JJ's son as the captain, because that's what it was in the comic, and then everywhere else adaptation we've seen it, and it actually was, and I thought that was a really neat touch. They killed him, I think. So sorry, JJ, but it's really great because it's like I said, it doesn't spend too much time on the origin, but that's not writing off too well because there are some minor plot problems here and there, maybe in contingency or just it doesn't make too much sense. But for the purpose of this movie, it's more of just hey, here's the character you love, and here's him doing the things you want to see him do, and the finer details I don't think really matter in the grand scope of things.
Yeah, if I had one word to describe this movie, it's fun. It's a fun movie. It's not it's not like a Tarantino-esque movie where you gotta kind of analytically talk about all the different things that happen and it fit together, deeper meaning. Exactly. It's a deep cut reference. I like it.
Yep.
But it's not like that. It actually is more of just having a good time. At the same time, the plot does make sense for the most part, at least the generic main parts of it. And there's some really great moments. So what was kind of your favorite moments of this movie?
I got to talk about it's not the first action scene we get, but I think it's probably the biggest one we see, and that's towards the middle of the movie. We get to see Eddie and Venom go up against a whole building of SWAT, and that was the moment for me where I'm like, this is it. I won't say it's the perfect adaptation, but it's really great. And at this moment when I was watching, I was like, I would buy this movie just for the scene alone. It's really cool, and there's even parts of it where I know a lot of people are worrying about the it not being rated R and it being PG-13. And in this, I think you get to see some of the brutality. I really do believe them that they said that they pushed their limit for the PG-13, because at first I was like, whatever, you're just saying that. But in this, especially scenes I'm talking
people
about,
get eaten. Yeah,
people you do see it. It's not bloody. So that's where you get kind of the oh, it's not R, but they still show stuff getting, shredded.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, that action scene is really great. Mm-hmm. I think one of the best aspects of the show, regardless of if it's completely follows the comic, is I think they got both Venom and Eddie Brock, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got their characters pretty spot on.
Yeah.
I think the performance of Tom Hardy was great. I think he kind of gave a nuanced character for the most part. He was a fun guy.
And I love the voice he created for Venom because, he does both voices. And I think his delivery with both is really great because, Tom Hardy's a pretty talented actor. He has a lot of range. And just seeing him do multiple characters in the same movie is great to see.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I really like that was one of my favorite elements, I guess, of the movie was those two characters, and you have comedic elements there with the dialogue. There's especially one because Eddie Brock's afraid of heights. It's pretty great. There's a couple with his love interest mm-hmm. that is funny, as well as a scene where Venom is connected to another person. So there you go.
And there's also one towards the later part where Venom is talking about his motivation for staying on the planet. It's great, and why he chose Eddie as his main host. And it's really interesting because in the MCU movies, that are done by Disney, I think they kind of have a problem with balancing the comedic elements. And in this movie, I think it was balanced pretty perfectly.
Yeah, I would say that. I think it's a lot to do with Tom Hardy's performance more than anything else. But I think the script and the jokes itself were well timed, and there wasn't any moment where it was like it felt out of place.
Yeah,
which can happen in certain other movies.
Now, the only thing that I will list in terms of like the plot is I didn't really get the whole reason why there was a time skip in the movie when they didn't have Venom. Because I thought if they were going to have a time skip, it would make sense that they're like, oh, Venom, he like went like someplace around the world, got with Spider-Man, and then somehow made his way back to this area and then attached to Eddie. But they went a different route. They just had a time skip, and I guess it was Riot who was away from the entire area for like 6 months, and so that didn't really make much sense why there was a time skip if they wanted to create that. I guess they mainly just wanted it so they could have his girl or his ex-fiance have another man quickly and not make her a terrible person. But they're just minor things. Like I said, if you're like just wanting it for like pure fun, it meets that.
Yeah. I think it's a simple movie, but it's a good movie, and I like the performances. The action was pretty great. You have a scene in a small store in Chinatown, or I don't know. Technically, it's not, but yeah, there's like 2 or 3 scenes there, including the end scene, which has become a meme. But it's pretty great, and I think the evolution of them becoming We Are Venom at the end is it's a very good place for them to go for moving forward. If they were to have a second movie, which they basically planted the seeds for. Yeah,
because we get at the very end, I guess spoiler warning, maybe? It's coming out like pretty late, but well, at least this video. But we get to see a little sneak peek of Carnage at the end, or at least his humor counterpoint. And it's played none other by Woody Harrelson, which, damn you. Also, I just wanted to highlight because I think a lot of people were like, that was like their go-to pick, but a lot of people weren't really sure if they were going to use him because, he is a higher paid actor. Also, he's a little bit older, but they did do it, and I was really excited to see that moment.
Yeah.
And I look forward to the future if they build that.
And pro tip, stay till the very end if you're watching it in theaters.
Yeah. Especially if you're seeing it before Spider-Verse and you are hyped for Spider-Verse because they have a little thing for that too.
Yeah.
So, what's your rating for this?
You're going to make me go first. It's between
I like to see you sweat.
A worth it and a gotta have it. I think I'll give it a gotta have it just because the overall tone is great. You have great actors, good action scenes, and overall I just had a good time in the theater enjoying it. Sometimes you can tell if it's a good or a bad movie if it doesn't catch your interest the whole time. But besides like the very beginning, it pretty much kept me interested in the story, the characters, and what was happening on screen. So I'd give it a got to have it.
And that's for me too. I give it a gotta have it as well. I think this is a film that I'm probably gonna go buy, to be honest. And I haven't bought a movie in a while, but there was just so many things that I liked about it. Like Michael said, there's a lot of charisma throughout the film, and the action is pretty great. So that's all I got to say about it. It's good. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I suggest you go see it in theaters because I think the action is something that pays off if you're on the big screen. If not, I think you still like it. But that would be my recommendation, and that is our rating. So that will conclude this review. My voice is dropping to critical levels. So we will be back for the next video. If you want to check out our other movie reviews, we just recently uploaded Bad Times at the El Royale.
Yeah,
and we also have Halloween coming very soon, if not already uploaded before this.
Most likely.
So, yeah, that's basically it. If you want to check out any more stuff, link will be in the description, or you can check out our YouTube channel library. So, anyway, guys, we'll see you later.
Later.